Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I am hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So I want to start off by just saying right off the bat that when I say winter storm, this isn't gonna be a large or powerful one, and I want to specify especially at the beginning of the video because we are really, I'm recording this on a Tuesday right before Thanksgiving into Wednesday. The busiest travel days. You don't want people or to create panic. There will be a storm and there will be a snow component to it. It could be pretty intense across portions of southern Canada, but the silver lining to this system for your travel woes is that this will be occurring mainly after, say, Thanksgiving. So it could definitely still impact you on your return home if you live really across the eastern United States, or I would say really just more specific to the northeast and southeastern Canada. And anywhere else in the United States, it should be fairly decent. So, no need to create panic or whatnot. It's not going to be a massive system, which is why I'm not using large storm or power or, it's just a winter storm is coming. But again, don't think that this is some overhyped stuff. I'll show you the snowfall amounts in some locations could reach well over a foot, not really in large metros or even in the United States, though portions of Maine with some models could pick up some amounts of snow that are, in the 6-inch range. But again, that is after. This is going to be occurring Friday and into Saturday, so past kind of the worst days of travel. I do want to say that quickly before I get started about this. If you guys are new to this channel, hello and welcome. Check out some of the videos, check out the channel. If you do enjoy it, consider subscribing, consider liking the video, and if you have any comments or concerns, please leave them down in the description box below, and I will I will probably answer them as best as I can. Alright, so let's start talking about this. First model I want to show you is the GFS. So let's go over this slowly. I have this right now at November 24th, so tomorrow in the early morning hours, right, 6 a.m. What do we have? Really not much. Honestly, for a Wednesday travel day before Thanksgiving, the start of it is very, very good. What we have is a bit of snow across the northwest into Montana, Wyoming, and North Dakota. It should not be significant, but again, airports, they don't need significant weather to cause some sort of a delay. Obviously not a catastrophic delay or anything of that sort, but some low cloud levels, obviously, with that snow. And maybe cities like Denver picking up some low cloud levels, maybe not snow, but you get it. You could definitely have some sort of a delay. But at when we talk about during the day, 12 a.m. we go forward, we see that the snow kind of disappears. It doesn't strengthen, right? So that's a good thing. And as we push this now towards 6 p.m., you can see that, again, it's still, honestly, to be square with you, this is probably one of the best days to be traveling in overall the past several weeks, and let alone it's happening on a Wednesday that is right before Thanksgiving. And I've been doing this weather for a few years, and every time near Thanksgiving there's been many occasions where there was a massive storm, literally on Wednesday and Thursday. So we got really lucky this year. But again, this winter storm, it's going to be occurring just a bit later. Look at that. By late, Wednesday, when you're settling in for Thanksgiving, we start seeing some rain develop across Illinois, Indiana, and it could be a pretty powerful cold front. Not severe weather, but a good band of rain, definitely causing, dampening some plans. But again, it's not outdoors for Thanksgiving, right? We do have some snow across the UP of Michigan into northern Michigan. Again, not really heavy, just enough to kind of create a more of a Christmas vibe for a Thanksgiving dinner. So definitely nice, I would say. Nothing to worry about. And what we do have is a blast of cooler air for the Midwest on Friday, so you may wake up after the Thanksgiving dinner on the next day, and yeah, it's definitely gonna be a bit chillier, and quite a bit chillier for some, especially since we have a warm-up on Wednesday for a lot of these locations. So again, the system, you can see it's pretty weak. It's not really doing anything much. However, once it reaches the East Coast by Friday morning, you can see it starts interacting with the ocean, and it starts picking up moisture, which means this system, of course, strengthens. And you can see that it really speeds up and completely turns vertical, right? I mean, look at that. It's just slows down, and it is snowing right now, according to these slides, in cities like Quebec, Montreal, Ottawa, seeing some rain, snow, and you can see that by later Friday in the afternoon, we do see some decent snow occurring across the northern kind of United States and southern Canada. Again, just towards the eastern parts of it, not not in Minnesota or North Dakota, just this little section. It's a big storm though, but again, I won't call it a big storm because it's really not big enough to cause as much of a travel headache as I guess it could have if it was just a bit more towards the south or if it was really much stronger. There will be powerful winds, and you can see that a lot of them will be blowing off the northeast or towards the ocean, so they're kind of away from the coast, which, again, it doesn't really matter. Winds are winds, so they could cause some sort of a delay at the airports. There will be some lake effect. And notice that the system doesn't really get away real quick. It starts snowing across portions of the northeast into southern Canada. Definitely a decent amount of snow will be falling across these areas. As you can see, it starts Friday morning. This is now 24 hours later. It's still snowing. And again, yes, Maine, portions of the U.S., southern Canada, we're all seeing that snow. Some pretty gusty winds will be occurring as well, but it finally starts wrapping away, and by then, by the end of the weekend, it's pretty much done. Let me show you these snowfall totals right off the bat, so I don't kind of hold this away from you. And as I mentioned, there could be a few locations that pick up even close to a foot that are near relatively populated cities like Quebec. Right, but you can see a lot of it does occur in areas that aren't as populated, but from the wind, from the storm, or from the rain and the snow, there definitely will be some delays. I don't think there will be too significant, and a bit of that early snow on Wednesday that could cause some delays across Montana and Colorado and Wyoming, kind of this portion of this the west. I do want to say that for British Columbia, yes, there's going to be an absolute monster storm moving in, so that's probably going to be a concern. You could see just through Sunday, there could be areas that see over potentially 100 inches of snow. But yeah, that's the Pacific Northwest for you. On the Canadian side, they've been dealing with extreme heat during the summer. Now they're dealing with extreme flooding. I mean, it's just storm after storm after storm this year, and it looks as if that pattern will continue for that part of the country. So I really have to feel for those folks. We're also reading some news articles about it, and yeah, I mean, it's just from climate extreme to climate extreme. The UP, you can see Marquette, cities like Marquette potentially seeing some lake effect snow out of that to maybe into Pittsburgh and Syracuse, Rochester, some delays. But again, I wouldn't say anything too significant for what it could be. So this is just one model. Again, I wish this was just kind of the definitive truth of what would happen, but that's just one scenario. You can see the Canadian through that same time frame shows quite a bit more snow for, say, Michigan. Look at that. Actually, this doesn't. Okay, there we go. Yep. Through Saturday, because I was going to say that seems a bit too aggressive. That's from a separate clipper system that comes afterwards. From this storm, though, you can see it shows more for Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. You can see amounts of 3, 4, 5 inches. So I know folks, live there, right? So it's not, across New York City. That would be pretty bad. But, southern Canada, Toronto, maybe picking up a few inches, Quebec. So definitely a winter event, a winter storm, especially since some of those winds will be stronger. And look, the Canadian does show a decent amount of snow for the west. So let me just play this out for you and show you what the differences are between the GFS and Canadian. So again, there is some snow occurring right now across the northwest that is definitely causing some delays. And that is part of the system that we are looking at. So again, it's that same winter storm. It does move snow into the Dakotas. Again, maybe some delays, or maybe Denver picking up some light snow showers, but it's relatively light for what it could be. Again, Wednesday seems like a pretty good day. There we have that rain again impacting cities, to say the least, with that. And then look, this system, it does impact LaGuardia, JFK, Logan, all of those airports along those large cities, but mainly with the rain and just some strong winds. I wouldn't say that it's going to be a snow system for you guys, but notice that Pittsburgh, for example, right, and there's a wraparound kind of lake effect showery weather could definitely pick up a bit of snow and lower the cloud levels and produce some delays. But look at that, Maine picking up decent snow, southern Canada, decent amounts of snow, to say the least. And look, it does strengthen across southeastern Canada right there into an actual pretty big significant snow band, right? So again, I think it's pretty appropriate to call it a winter storm. Just again, I won't call it a large one because it won't have as much impacts. But look what the Canadian does. That the GFS, the model I just showed you, doesn't. It develops this clipper. Now again, this is past Thanksgiving already, right? It's into the weekend. But look, it potentially develops another storm, and it's potentially one that is a nor'easter, and it's a pretty large one. We'll have to watch it because it's way too early to dismiss it or say that it will happen, because it's producing snow right there for the northeast, and 100 miles towards the east, it's none of our concerns pretty much for our viewing area that I talk about, and 100 miles towards the west, and yeah, we have a pretty nasty system on our hands. but again, that's in a long range. So I showed you the Canadian snowfall amounts; they are a bit more impressive. Let me show you the NAM 12 km 84 hours. So it shows that system, the one that again we're talking about for our Thanksgiving travels, not the potential nor'easter. Let's see what this one shows. You can see through Wednesday it does show some decent snow for Montana, definitely causing some sort of a delay, probably 1 or 2 at least, or 1 or 2 headaches to say the least. And then we do have that rain. You can see that snow band affecting a lot of locations. But again, it's Thursday, so it's kind of the best day it could be occurring. And then we do have that snow system, which you can see the NAM does show some decent snow for Maine, New Hampshire, southern Canada, but it keeps the heaviest away from the United States. And what that does is, well, it keeps a lot of that snowfall to the north, but definitely still brings in some for large Canadian cities, which again I do forecast for. I'm not like I do, the weather doesn't stop at the border, and I used to just forecast for the U.S., but I mean it makes no sense. I show it on every map. Right, might as well talk about the areas. So you can see decent snow right there from that first kind of part of the winter storm. Then it moves on and dumps a bit over here. This is again just one scenario. I want to show you a model scenario that actually is completely kind of different. And if you could notice anything, it's a lot more towards the west with those snowfall amounts. And let me show you its placement. This is the RGEM model. It goes out to 84 hours, and let's see what it does. Again, there's that first half of that system across the northwest, again into Wednesday, or in the morning. During the day, it kind of dies down, which it's kind of nice. Almost perfectly dies down, and it starts erupting again late Wednesday into Thursday. Maybe some severe thunderstorms deep across Texas, but anywhere further towards the north, again, just a general band of rain. Look, this one does bring some snow into Green Bay, right? Marquette, definitely some snow, way more than, say, the GFS brought in, so we'll have to watch that. Again, it does develop, it does strengthen into a relatively strong system, again, pretty far towards the west. This would be a worst case scenario, and where that system would be a bit stronger, more snow. You could see Toronto potentially picking up a lot of snow, just a lot of lake effect bands occurring, and we do see this system will start kind of strengthening and developing and producing quite a bit of snow across Maine, New Hampshire, southern Canada, and this would definitely be more of a impactful scenario. Just through the 84 hours, you can see decent snows across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, to southern Canada and Maine, potentially widespread kind of 3 to 5 inch events, probably by the time it's done, maybe some 5 to 6 inch amounts. Let me show you the European model now, and again, it's just the same storm, just a different model. I like doing that, and I think it's good to show different scenarios. You can see right there, we take this through. We do have that cold front developing into Thursday. Again, not really much of a concern, but definitely there, more than one typically would cause, because it's still occurring on Thanksgiving, which isn't, as busy as Wednesday, but it's still relatively busy. A lot of people just commuting kind of, for one day, not really across the whole country. And notice that, well, we do have quite a bit of that snow developing with the European across Maine, and it's actually some decent amounts of it, to say the least. Quebec, large cities across Canada getting in on this. There's definitely some strong winds as well, and you can see that's a pretty large spot with snow, but again, pretty far towards the north. And we do have that little clipper that the Canadian shows. The European definitely shows it. It moves into the mid-Atlantic. Again, this is kind of past Thanksgiving travel time. Or definitely still could impact a few, I guess, plans. And look, it develops into a nor'easter very slowly, but it's definitely there. And, if this was closer onto shore, definitely something to watch for. Whether or not it drops potentially quite a bit of snow, maybe for certain viewing areas, so we'll have to watch that. But again, the models are really not agreeing on it, so we'll just have to wait and see. Again, too early to dismiss it. Now, I do want to show you that we do have a continued activity from the European. Look at that, drops this little clipper, pretty actually very potent clipper, and it kind of drops me a bit of snow. We have a snow system moving in through the Midwest, so again, we'll just have to wait and see in the long range what happens. But you can see there's that winter storm. Again, I'm not going to call it anything large, just because of its impacts are going to be relatively kind of small, because it's occurring kind of in that section of the country where not a lot of not a lot of my viewers live. Let's see, from that winter storm, you can see decent amounts across southern Canada. Really, though, it's pretty far to the north at the highest of the amounts. And I do not want to ignore the lake effect, which could be pretty powerful for some of these areas. The European, it's not a high-res model, so it does a pretty poor job estimating where these snowfall bands may occur. But in the peak intensity of some of these bands, you could expect that there will be, potentially, it's probably even maybe close to double digits in some locations. So it's gonna be, lake effects pretty isolated, but definitely something to keep an eye on for. And I just want to go back and show you the GFS model, and you may be thinking, oh, you already showed us this model for this winter storm, but now I just kind of want to show you quickly what the long range shows. If you recall yesterday, at the end of the video, I showed you what the pattern may be holding as we get into December, right? With those giant systems. And let me tell you that the models in general continue to be pretty consistent. Again, about a certain storm, anything like that, no. The system could be in all shape and sizes, and it could still change and not necessarily be an active pattern. But I do want to say that I'm again leaning towards the kind of the side where I think there will be an active pattern with some big winter storms, not just like the ones that barely clipped the country with some of that snow, but some larger, way more impactful ones in early December. Because look, so we have that system, right? Boom, we have a bit of some clipper activity, maybe a potential nor'easter we'll have to watch for right there, as I mentioned with the GFS and other models. Look, we have a little cold front that passes through, drops maybe some snow. Nothing, again, I mean, it's nothing too extraordinary, but this is where things change. Notice that flow that hits British Columbia, that's been hitting it so hard, now it shifts towards the south more, and we do have these little incursions of a kind of troughs, and on the southeast side of this we also could always have a system that develops. You can see the GFS develops one that's not even that far out, and that does drop a bit of snow for the I would say the northeast, and develops into a nasty storm for southern Canada. But look right here, that catches the eye. A massive system plows into the western United States, drops a lot of precip, and boom, explodes some snow across northern U.S., southern Canada. Definitely something to watch for. And we do have moisture. Look at that rising from the Pacific, and boom, we have a system that develops a pretty nasty one, pretty large one, right? Again, there we have a system that treks way down into the mountains of California, and boom, develops another nasty one, and we have another one kind of moving in. We'll have to see. Again, if you're looking at this and being like, no, Iowa's gonna get clobbered, or oh, it's missing me, you're missing the point, because I'm not trying to forecast the storms. This would be an absolute monster. I'm just trying to show you that each model run has been consistent since, I would say, almost this last Saturday, and now this is Tuesday. So yes, it's been a pretty consistent show of these systems. This is the model run today at noon. You can see showed that first system actually in a relatively similar fashion as that the latest one is showing. Showed a second one, showed a third one. There definitely are some differences, but a lot of similarities, and you can see that the pattern with pretty much every single model run becomes pretty active. You can see some are less active, right? This one, it shows more of a few smaller systems, not necessarily giant beast. Definitely though, it's back and forth. It looks active. All right, that's basically it for today's video, and let me just take a look at these snowfall amounts, because I am kind of curious. With so much snow in Iowa, yeah, that would obviously be a very big winter storm. All right, if that were to occur, but again, it's just a possibility for an active pattern at this point. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you all later. See ya. Bye.